Hello everyone, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. Had to just take a little moment there of silence, because my most anticipated film of this year was the Zack Snyder Justice League movie. Now, I had the absolute pleasure of going over to my buddy's house last night because he has HBO Max, so I watched it over his house, and had the pleasure of doing that. And I was processing my thoughts as the movie was going. I was really pumping. I was seeing the movie and things like that. I was watching it. I was loving it. Then I was processing my thoughts afterwards, and I processed them a little bit earlier again today. And I have to say, guys, this movie was epic as hell. This movie was completely epic. Thank you very much, Zack Snyder, for giving the fans your vision of what your Justice League film was going to be. I know my good friends Rob and Dan are seeing it today, and I know Alex will see it at some point. I don't know when, but I know he's going to check it out at some point as well. But I mean, and back in 2017. I actually got to see Justice League early, an early screening of it with my cousins, and enjoy the film in theaters. Then I watched it a few times because I actually have it on Blu-ray, right up there. There we go, right up there, right up there, right next to the Wonder Woman digibook. And you heard about all the interference about how Joss Whedon came in and did reshoots, and I rewatched it again before. I literally hate this camera. I'm trying to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Don't freeze. So, what I was trying to say is, all the reshoots that happened with Joss Whedon coming in and Zack Snyder being let go and things like that. And I was rewatching it, and I didn't like the Justice League movie. It was very underwhelming. When I rewatched it again before me, Rob, Alex, and Dan, did the DCEU show many months back. And yeah, it was just a mess. A lot of things didn't make any sense, and a lot of really cringeworthy humor, especially from the Flash about brunch and Pet Cemetery jokes, and the way Superman came back was really bad. It really just did not make any sense whatsoever in the slightest. And you hear about all kinds of Joss Whedon, the reshoots and things like that, but this film is a completely different movie. The favorite scenes that are in the 2017 cut were the Zack Snyder stuff. All the things I didn't like was all the Joss Whedon reshoots. Because the whole way Superman came back was a reshoot, and the whole beginning was a reshoot because now, like I said, these two films are completely night and day. Two completely different films. This one is the superior version that fans wanted, and this is the one I wanted to see in the first place. Zack Snyder did a great job with this, and considering they had $70 million to get everything fixed up and things like that, they did a phenomenal job. Now, one of the I'm not even going to mention the 2017, so I'm going to say all the stuff that was in the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League about how the Flash was joking about brunch, and that he didn't know what brunch was, and the Pet Cemetery jokes and things like that. That's all gone. That's not in this cut. That's completely taken out. And especially in the opening as well, because in the 2017 Justice League, it opens with Batman on the rooftop, and there's a random guy there, and he's fighting a parademon, and Batman's like, "I'm doing this out of fear." I don't know the exact line, but it's like how does Batman already know about all this stuff about parademons and things like that? And in that scene, he's clean shaven, and and then in the next scene, he has a full beard and talking to Aquaman and things like that. It's just it was It didn't make any sense. In the Zack Snyder cut, the whole scene where Batman is fighting the parademon on the rooftop, that's nowhere to be found. That scene is not even in the movie. So that right there was a Joss Whedon reshoot. The way this opens is so much more better. Like, you know how when with Aquaman, and you know how when he has the full beard and when he's meeting Aquaman, like the way it leads up to that is so much more cohesive. And one of the other things too, they Flash in this film I did not like in the 2017 cut. I thought his humor was cringeworthy. This one though, they made Ezra Miller a fantastic Flash, and I really thought Steppenwolf was also very forgettable in Justice League the 2017 cut. This one, he's much more flushed out. And like in the whole origin of Steppenwolf, you get to see more of his motives with the mother boxes and things like that. Cyborg in this film has a much prominent role. And, you know, because like in the 2017 cut, like Cyborg was just kind of just there. Like he didn't really serve any purpose. This one, he has a purpose. You get more of his backstory. And that's another thing, too, that this Zack Snyder cut really does really, really well. Every single character gets their time to shine with their backstory. You get, you know, Aquaman's backstory. The Flash, and, you know, Cyborg's backstory especially. And the way Superman comes back in the Zack Snyder cut is so much better. The way the Flash brings him back and things like that. It's so much better. And of course, you know, the whole black suit Superman was so badass. And the musical score as well. Because in the Joss Whedon cut, you got the more of a remix version of the Wonder Woman theme, and you got the Tim Burton Batman theme, and I think the Superman theme as well. That's completely gone. Like, this is a much better musical score. It's just far better. And like I said, everything in this film is much more flushed out. And another thing, too, that I really wanted to mention, too, because I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as I can. I'm keeping this as spoiler-free as I can, and I promise you that. One other thing, too, if you remember the 2017 cut of Justice League, when it always cut back to that family in Russia, and they're hiding under the table, and things like that, it kind of looked like a place where it was like all abandoned in Steppenwolf's area. In the Zack Snyder cut, there is no family because a nuclear bomb went off and no one would survive a nuclear blast. So there's no family, there's no nothing. There's nothing like that whatsoever. And so it makes much more sense. And like I said, you know, the whole, all that cringeworthy humor is completely taken out. You know, a lot of the Batman awkward humor is out of there, and the Flash humor is completely cut out. So you don't have any of the stupid stuff where, you know Ezra Miller, Barry Allen falls on Wonder Woman. Like, that's nowhere to be found. That's not in the Zack Snyder cut. That's completely taken out, and I think that was for the better. And the humor in this film is balanced. Like, it feels like it's at the right note. It's not too indulging, and it's not too humorless. It's right in the middle, dead smack in the middle, like perfect balance of humor. And I will say also, there is no post-credit scene, but the end scene, because it kind like you still have the whole ending with, you know, Lex Luthor and, you know, Deathstroke, things like that, but it's played out a little bit differently. I'm not going to say what it is or anything like that. And there's something else added to the scene, and I know this is I gotta mention it because there were screenshots of Joker, you know, Jared Leto's Joker in the Zack Snyder vision, and because there's a little bit added on to the ending before, like, the actual final part of the ending, but in between the Lex Luthor stuff and the final scene of the movie, you get to see a little bit of Jared Leto's Joker. And I'm not going to say, like, how it's played out or anything like that, but all I can say is Jared Leto as Joker. I was one that I despised in Suicide Squad. I thought his Joker was atrocious in Suicide Squad. Here, Zack Snyder knows how to direct actors in this. And Jared Leto's Joker was so freaking good in this. He was so freaking good. I was kind of getting vibes of Heath Ledger's Joker, like the way he was talking and things like that. I think Jared Leto really hit the nail on the head, and I really can't wait to see Jared Leto more in the Snyderverse. And the whole ending final scene, I was I was literally in tears of joy when they introduced this one character I was not expecting, and I'm like, "Oh my freaking god. He's in the movie. Holy shit." I'm not going to say who it is or anything like that. Um, but yeah, this Zack Snyder cut was so worth it. It was so worth it. You get much more, and on top of that too, the whole thing with Steppenwolf, taking out all the Amazonians on Paradise Island has so much more context. Like I said, and it's a 4 hour long running time, and it's justified. The 4 hour running time. There's no wasted material in this film. You get every single character gets their chance to shine. And everybody is so much better. The musical score is a lot better. There's no cringeworthy humor. That's all gone. This is a completely different cut. Ezra Miller, they really improved him as the Flash, and Cyborg has much more to do and has much better character development. Ben Affleck's Batman is on point. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, and it was in the whole ending where I thought was so cool how they kind of expanded a little bit of the ending because in the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League, it ended with, of course, Lex Luthor and Deathstroke on the boat together, and Lex Luthor telling Deathstroke, shouldn't we form a league of our own, and things like that. That line's not even said. The ending is kind of plays out because it still is Luthor and Deathstroke, but it's played out much differently, and there's different stuff said, and I thought it was so freaking good. And for a $70 million budget, to fix all the stuff that Zack Snyder wanted to fix and put all this stuff back in there, I think he did a great job. And I'm really excited to see more of the Snyderverse based on this film alone. And I would give this film a solid 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely adore this film. So now there's no point now of going back to watching the Joss Whedon Justice League cut, because it's chopped up garbage. It's a 2 hour running time, and there's a lot of shit missing. And this fills in all the gaps. And funny enough, I actually watched BVS the day before I went over to watch, Justice League. And when you combine BVS, the Ultimate Cut, when you combine that and the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, it's one big 7 hour mega movie, and it's a great double feature to watch back and forth. 7 hours long, it's so worth your time. Like I said, the 4 hour runtime is justified, and I just want to thank Zack Snyder for putting this out there for the fans, and this is what fans wanted in the first place, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I kept this as spoiler free as I could. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you guys next time.